grab yourselves a drink, settle down, and let's go into this one. This is the ultimate crypto gaming YouTube extravaganza. It's absolutely massive. It took absolutely ages to kind of get through to make it all up, so it could be a lengthy one. Let's get into it. Just one quick thing as well. Do not try and join the Patreon. The Patreon, I've closed it down. Please do not try and join it at any cost. Do not do that. It is being closed down. I'll make up something, but for now, I've just got to work as many hours as humanly possible in order to fuel my crypto bag. So make sure you do not join the Patreon. Do not join it. Okay, so first things first, let's have a look at Abyss World. So Abyss World, AWT, hasn't been out like a massive amount of time. It's currently around the $4 million market cap. I think this can do extremely well. We'll have a little quick look at the website. Again, the website looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with it. I think it'll do well. Again, it's one of these like only one game kind of platforms, but I think it'll do okay. Well, more than okay. I think it'll 100x with pretty much ease. I don't think it's going to have any problems in doing that. Next up, we're going to look at Axie Infinity. This is currently priced at $7.17. I don't think we're going to see the run that it had previously. If we look at its max chart here, you can see that obviously during that previous bull run, it went absolutely crazy. You can see why. It looks like it could be potentially popular again, but how popular? I don't think we're going to see it get to the levels it got to before. For me, Axie Infinity is a 10x, potentially less. So the 10x token, the 10x sort of side is 10x potentially less. You got 10 to 20x, 30 plus, 50 plus, 100 plus, and then not good. So next is Beam. Beam, I actually quite like Beam, but I just think it's already ran too hard. It's a decent looking token. I like some of the stuff that it's doing, but that's Merit Circle, which I know it's migrating to. But all-time chart, we'll have a quick look at that. All-time chart looks pretty healthy, but I just think it's kind of one of these ones that have ran a little bit too hard at the minute. So for Beam, it's going to be 10x or less for me. Next up is Big Time. Now, I know Big Time gets spoken about a lot from a lot of the other crypto YouTubers, things like that. It's obviously got a lot of potential. Market cap's reasonable, decent in terms of its max supply. If we look at its all-time chart, yeah, it looks like healthy. It looks really healthy. I think a lot of people are kind of banking on this and thinking it'll come really, really good. I'm not saying that it won't, but for me, it's not that exciting. It doesn't get my motor running as much as some other projects. So for me, it's kind of like, I think it can 20x, potentially 30. So I'm going to go with the 30x. I think it's got a massive chance. The next one, I really like this. It's Carrot. So it's Alaskan Gold Rush. Its max chart is here. Doesn't look fantastic, but I did mention this on another gaming platform that we spoke about on one of the other videos, and you guys got in there and pumped it before I could get anywhere near it. It's still only got a $3.5 million market cap. I still think this has got loads of potential. It looks like, see, this is the thing. It's the sort of game I would play. Now, with it being the sort of game I would play, probably means that a lot of you guys who are into crypto gaming, things like that, or in gaming in general, probably won't play it. But I think it's really, really good. I think it's got a lot of potential. Definitely feel free to visit all these websites yourselves. But I really, really think it's great. Again, will it do much in the bull run? Well, I actually think this can 100x from that such a low market cap. I don't think it's going to have an issue. If it gets adoption, again, everything's based on the fact, if it gets adoption, is it getting played enough? That's the massive one. Cathion Gaming, which is here. So Cathion Gaming was SolChicks. It migrated. It's got a $1.4 million market cap. Now, that's low. I spoke about this before on the channel as well. There's a video on that. The problem is that if you look at its max chart, it looks as though it's being harvested as like some kind of pump and dump, which is a bit concerning. The buy and sell tax is putting a lot of people off. That's why I think it's going to struggle, and it's going to go in the not good category, which may surprise a few people. And again, get your comments down below what you want to talk about. Any of these projects, let me know. Also, if you want a bit of a deeper dive into any of these particular ones, let me know in the comments which one, and the one that gets the most down to the one that gets maybe the length. Well, maybe we'll do 10. The one that gets the most to the one that gets the 10th most, we'll have a look at and we'll maybe make a video on. Next up is cornucopias. Excuse me. Still trying to shift that coffee fluey type thing. It's getting on my nerves. But next is cornucopias. Now, this has been mentioned a few times by people in the comments before. They do really like this game. The chart looks really healthy. I quite like it too. I think it's got a lot of potential. Here's the website. Again, always feel free to have a look, but it looks dead sharp. It looks crisp. I quite like this one. I think it's got a lot of potential. If you look at its market cap there, 57 million. I still think this has got a lot of potential, and I'm going to go with a 30x for cornucopias. I think that's a reasonable place for it to go. Again, these can obviously go higher. This is not just a kind of a one-off, like it can't do anymore. They certainly can. One we're going to take a look at is D-Race. My camera went off. It does that sometimes on certain websites. I can't really control that, unfortunately. It's a bit annoying. But next, we're going to look at D-Race. Now, I remember last bull run that someone, I can't remember who it was, but I think he wore glasses and was like a really shouty YouTuber, was really going hard on D-Race. And I think he did really, really well from it. It did really well in the last kind of bull. It's $32 million market cap. I think there's better plays now, though. I think this has kind of had its day. Its race is run, so to speak. But if you have a look at its website, it looks very basic compared to what we're going to be seeing, obviously, in the future. Crypto game is going to be big. Yeah, you can have a little go on, build your horse up, things like that. It's not, for me, going to do very well. I think this has had its run. I think it's had its day. I think it's now dead, so I'm going to go with not good. It may make a comeback, of course it may, but these are just obviously my opinions, not to be taken as financial advice, of course, but you let me know what you think. Next one up is Fabwell. Now, Fabwell is one we talked about a long time ago, and I still think it's building nicely. It's had a massive pump recently to the upside. Max chart doesn't look great, but its market cap of 1.8 million is good. I think Arsenal's its biggest game that's being played the most. There's some really good footage of that if you want to go and check that out. Its website's okay. Probably needs to do a little bit more with its website. Normally here you have a few, there it is. You have a bit more of an in-game kind of look at how things are. I think it's going to do really, really well. I think it's got a lot of potential. And with its market cap being so low, it can just go at any point and it can rip away from a lot of people. So for me, this has got the potential to be 100x. Again, these are all potential. Things could change. Things could get worse. Things could get better. We just don't know. But it is what it is, in my opinion. If we look at the next one we're going to be talking about, which is Gala. Gala, you get, I really like Gala. I really, really like Gala. I'm just so disappointed because I hold it where it's going to be come the bull run, due to the fact that I think that, with having that lawsuit, things like that, it's going to cause it problems. People are going to be a little bit less inclined to, but I still think it's one of the best gaming projects out there. But will it get the amount of adoption that we want? Because ultimately, we need more people onto the platform. When they hear about the lawsuit, will that put people off? Will it suppress the price? I think it probably will, which is slightly annoying, slightly concerning. But I think it could still do a 10 to 20x. So I'm going to pop it there. I fully expected it to hit $1 this time around. I don't anymore, which is, devastating to a certain extent, because I did go big on Gala. Next one is Fakana. So this one's only been out like literally very, very short period of time. As in, yesterday. I think it launched yesterday. We'll have a quick look at the website. So it's a third-person shooter. Again, it's a single game project, but it looks okay. It looks good. The characters look good. It looks slick. And it's obviously very, very new. For me, it's kind of like, I think it'll do 50x without too much problems. But again, you've got to be looking at when to take profits out along the way as well, because, maybe hold a few of these as moon bags, but nothing really more than that. GameSwift is next. I think GameSwift will do really, really well. Very bullish on GameSwift. It's slightly different in terms of it's more about in-game economies, things like that. Again, if you look at its website, I still think some slicker websites need to be made, but that's just my opinion. So it's a Omni token, so multi-chain. It ticks a lot of the boxes. For me, I think it'll do very, very well. I don't think it's going to do 100, but I think it can do 50x without too many issues. Next is GFAL. Now, GFAL, I was super bullish on. Great team, like a fantastic team. EA Sports, all that kind of stuff. It's all very, very good. The chart looks really good. $48 million market cap, nice. A lot of things. It ticks a lot of boxes. The only thing is, I think it has a potential for some of the. I think personally, I think there'll be quite a few dumps along the way up with this one. So it's one of these ones with like air on the side of caution. That being said, I think a 30x is more than achievable. I do like it. I do hold it, but I do think there's going to be a lot of dumps along the way. So it'll go up, dump down, go up. I think it's going to have that kind of feel to it. But that's just obviously my opinion. You can take that with a pinch of salt. Hello Labs. Now this sneaks into the game, and obviously, because I think it's got great potential. I think if you combine it with all the other things it's got going on, the Killer Whales TV show, things like that. I made a video about Hello, made a comparison video between Hello and Right as well, Right Stream. I think this is fantastic. I think the games are good. They're very basic, but they're fun. For me, Hello is still a 50x in my opinion. Next is Illuvium. Now, I know I've upset people in the past about Illuvium. It just, for me, I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great project. The game is fantastic to look at, as in I've seen a few gameplay trailers, different things like that. It does look phenomenal. Do I think it's going to go anywhere near its all-time high? I don't. I generally don't. I think it's pushed too hard previously, and that was built on hype. I think it's going to start paying influence again soon as well. So you probably see a little bit of residual pumping from that. But for me, it's a 10x. Illuvium is 10x for me from here. Now I know that's going to upset a lot of people. I do generally know that. Immutable X is next. This again, I don't mind it. I think it'll do really, really well, but it has already got a massive market cap in terms of what it's trying to be. But it is again one of these universal kind of tokens. It's trying to bridge things together. I don't mind it. I think it's a decent project. I think it's a decent idea. But for me, it's a 10x. It's a 10x. I don't think it'll go much higher than that personally. Next one is Karate. So that's not Karate. That's Compete. We don't want that one yet. So we'll go on here. I'll just type it in. So Karate Combat. I think this has got some legs. It's not that old either. The chart right now is looking really good. The max chart is looking really, really good. This is interesting, actually, because I think this is going to get pushed and promoted quite a lot. If you look at its website, there's on the 26th of January, there's an invite only at ASIM's mum's house party. So there's a few different things going. You can also, you get more karate tokens each time your fighter wins. So some of this is real world fighting built into this kind of thing. I think it's interesting. It's got a lot of potential. Will it be like, the go-to coin for the bull run? I don't know. But for me, it's definitely got 50x potential without any real problems. I still think it's very, very low in terms of what it can do. It's going to do well, in my opinion. But obviously take that with how you want to take it. Compete. Now, I know a lot of you really like this one too. This has got a lot of legs. 21 million market cap currently. Max chart looks really, really good. Healthy. I quite like the max supply. It's ticking a lot of boxes for me. Let me just get rid of that one quickly. If we look here on its website, it takes a few seconds to load. All-in-one multiplayer game. Again, have a look at that. It's got that GTA kind of feel to it. Come and have a look, see what you think. Again, I don't hold this one, but I think it can do really, really well. I don't hold a lot of these. I'll tell you which ones I hold a little bit later. So for me, Compete can easily, again, hit a 50x. But again, easily is maybe not the right word to use. I think it's got the potential to. So each of these have the potential to. Next is Lit Labs. Now, a lot of people are into Lit Labs. There's some great AMAs. The team look really good. They're having good conversations. Everything looks to be positive around Lit Labs. The website itself could do a bit of work, in my opinion. But it's got that Web 2.5 as opposed to Web 3. So maybe it's got that bridge in between the two, which I kind of like. I like the fact that it's doing that. For me, based on the route, look at its market cap. It's still only 14 million. It's got big, big potential in this one. This can be 100x, in my opinion. Now, Magic. I'm not massively keen on Magic, I've got to say. It never really filled me with joy from researching it, doing different bits and pieces. If we look at its max chart, it did okay, but it's on that downward trend at the minute. $245 million market cap. decent supply. Quite happy with the max supply. The website itself, feel free to have a little flick through it yourself. The magic of play. I do like the project. Just don't think it's great. It's not one. I've never been massively keen on it. I think it can do well from a financial point of view. I think it can do well, but I'm not overly keen on it myself. But it's just how I feel about it. So for me, I'm going to look at Magic and go, it can 10 to 20x in my opinion. Again, it can do higher. Myria. Now, Myria for me, I think this can be the gala of 2021 in 2025. I know it hasn't got music. I know it hasn't got games, but it is. I think it's a fantastic project. Only a $69 million market cap, 50 billion is its total supply. The website has been updated recently, which I quite like. It kind of needed doing. It felt as though it wasn't quite, ready. Some of the games, obviously, they've not been released yet, but when they do, I imagine it to do really, really well. Again, it does nodes similar to Gala. I think it's got a lot of legs, and for me, Myria can still absolutely 50x from this position, possibly higher. If it does take a large part of Gala's market share. Next is Nakamoto Games. I really like this. I held it back in the previous bull run. I don't hold it now. Maybe I should have tried to get in maybe down here and maybe go again. But 87 million market cap, decent total supply. I like all that. It ticks a lot of the boxes. It has like that bit more of a retro gameplay. People are saying, oh, why hasn't it got fantastic games? As in, why aren't the graphics spectacular? Things like that. It doesn't need to be. It just needs to be playable. If they're playable, people will come, price will go up. That's what tends to happen. So for me, I still think this has got a lot of legs. I'm going to go with the 20x. It could easily 30x potentially, but I'm going to go with 20x. The next is player 3 bull or playable games. I think they want to do it, but there's a 3 in there. I don't really like that. It's a little bit annoying, but I'm an old guy, right? So who cares what I think? So this again, chart looks really good. I'm really liking the market cap. Supply's okay. Everything looks okay. This is its website. I think its website's good. It's quite slick. I'm going to give this one a rating that might surprise a few of you. I think this is definitely 30x, potentially a 50x. Again, it all comes down to adoption, things like that. Next one. Now, I really, really like this game, this project, sorry. It's PlayZap. Only a $10 million market cap. If you have a look at its max chart now, you can see it's been going up, consolidating, going up. It's due its next leg up, in my opinion. I like, again, its supply. I know people are playing this as well. A lot of people have said to me, I said a viewer said to me that he's got his wife playing it, and she really loves it. I know it's getting downloaded a lot. I know that they're going to do the Telegram. They're going to link the Telegram, so that's another easy way to gain. And I said before about linking that adoption, making it easier to make it seamlessly transition between the old web to Web 3.0, and I think that's going to be really key. For me, at this range, I still think there's 100x left in PlayZap. Really bullish on it. I think it could do really, really well. Cineverse. Now, I think if this catches the right hype, based around all the GTA 6 vibes, things like that, that'll obviously ramp up the closer it gets. I think this has got massive potential. Such a low market cap, still at 5 million. If you look at this, it's the first R-rated metaverse. It looks good. I think this could be like a real go. It's got that GTA vibe. It really has. So for me, this could be 100x. Again, it's got to get potential. It's got to reach these things, obviously. But these are just kind of my opinions on how I think things will go. Next one is Smooth Love Potion. Now, someone asked me to take a look at this a while back in my comment section. I have done that now, like I did with all of these. For me, this is dead. I think it's dead. I don't think it comes back. So I'm putting this, obviously, in not good. Spooky Z, or Spookies, however you want to call it. I bought this, and for me, it's been comfortably probably one of the worst projects I've ever bought. It's the project itself, it seems good. So, like, I love the max supply. I love all these kind of things about it. I like the fact of what it's trying to do. My biggest problem is I just don't think it's achieving it. I don't think it's achieving it. Whether they've bit off more than they can chew, I don't know. It's a shame because it had such potential, such good use cases. It excited me to look at, but now I just don't think. I think it's going to be a slow. If we look at the max chart, it looks like a slow bleed to zero, and I think that's probably where it's going to end up. So for me, it's not good. I'm hoping that I'm wrong, because obviously I want it to do really, really well because I bought it. So that's a bit of a concern. Obviously, I'm not over the moon about it for sure. Next, just moving my notes out the way. So next, we're going to look at here is we'll flick this is Star Atlas. Now this has got big potential, I think. I've seen some of the trailers, things like that. It looks really good. The website's very heavy. You have to get scroll through by pressing down lots and lots of times. $63 million market cap, 36 billion in total supply. That chart looks dead. I'd agree with that. It does look dead, but I still think there's a lot of potential in this one. If you look at some of the game footage or the at least the trailers, it looks phenomenal. But again, that's based around hype, so we never know what could really take place here. But for me, it's a 50x. I think it looks really, really, really good. UFO Gaming. I'm gutted about UFO Gaming. I really used to like it. Back in the last, when I first heard of it, I think it was the last bull run that I started picking up some of this. UFO Gaming, is that the next one to come up on here? Yeah, so UFO Gaming. If we look at its max chart, it had a massive spike. Obviously, everything did back then. $26 million market cap. Really odd number of circulating supply and things like that. But I really like this, but I just don't think it's going to do very well. I think it's had its day, unfortunately. But with hype and things like that, that'll come with all crypto gaming space. I could say maybe 10x, but I wouldn't have thought much more than that. It's not, unfortunately, going to do anything better than that, in my opinion. But again, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, right? Ultra UOS. This I'm very interested in. I think this can do very, very well. $65 million current market cap, 1 billion in supply. Yet the max chart looks a bit iffy, but again, it all depends on when these things launch. I quite like this project. I think it'll do very well. How well though? I don't know. So I'm going to probably go around about the 30x mark, potentially slightly less, but I think 30x is kind of a good range for it. Now this one is such a shame, such a shame. Victoria VR. This had everything that you could possibly want. It's got the VR, great ticker symbol. It's primed to be hyped up. $120 million market cap. It's got absolutely everything. It looks fantastic. It looks so good, so good. But I don't think it's going to come back, and that's what worries me. I really don't think it's going to come back. Look how slick it looks. I had it last bull run, and I really like it. Or to the end of last bull run, it's got bags of potential, but I just don't see it. Don't see it coming back without some significant moves. Maybe big influence of Shilling, I don't know. But for me, it's just not good anymore, and it's a shame because I really, 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 really like it. But I just don't think it's done enough. Next one, Veracity VRA. I know it's not strictly gaming, but I still believe it's got a lot of potential. Had a great bull run, obviously last time round. I think this can do really, really well. I know it's more focused around, ad fraud and things like that, but it has got, it'll be utilized within them spaces. I think it's got a lot of potential. As before, I think it's got a 30x in it, 100%. So I'll pop that there. The next is Vulcan Forged. A lot of people have asked me about that. I'm gonna have to blow my nose, or not blow it. I'll just wipe it because I feel like awful today. I was gonna say shit. I do. I feel like shit. So max charts there, $133 million market cap. I had a real high potential and hope for this, and it can still do well. I like the fact that its supply is not massive, 50 million. Feel free though, take a look at the website, see what you think. And bearing in mind, again, these are just my opinions, but I think it's got a 10x in it, but I don't think it's going to be much more than that, unfortunately. WAGMI Games. I don't like it. WAGMI Games, for me, I feel as though the name is good. Like it should bring a lot of people in to the space. But if I show you here, I'll bring it up now. WAGMI Games. Look at this. Look at the supply is ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. Chart doesn't look too bad, to be fair, but I just think that's too many tokens. I think it's far too many tokens. $24 million market cap. So this is one of them ones. You could stick it in 100x and it wouldn't look out of place based on its market cap. But based on the other factors, and again, like if you look at the website, it looks okay. You know, it's one of these ones that you could get behind. I mean, look, it looks slick. I like that. That website looks great. I'm thinking, yeah, well, this could be a great potential buy. But for me, I don't think it's good. I think it's going to struggle. I just don't think, you know, you don't need that many tokens. It's far too many, in my opinion. This has been a long video. I've had to dig into all these projects. It's taken a couple of days to try and get this ready, but here we are. So if you like this video, please press the like button. Do not forget, any of these projects you want to talk about, put them in the comments. Tell me which one you want me to do a deep dive into, and I'll go through a proper deep dive. Obviously, these have just been overviews and my thoughts and feelings and what I think and how I think that they could potentially do in the bull run. Subscriber-wise, we're nearly at 3,500 subscribers now. So if you could subscribe, that would be absolutely fantastic. It will push us closer to that 10K goal that I have. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you are doing, have an amazing day. Have an amazing evening. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.